there's too many people that are isolated in trying to do good work for God. They're all trying to figure out how to market Catholicism in a fresh way that actually engages people.
So we tried it the first year, had tremendous success.
It's exciting. I'm having fun. I'm meeting a lot of really great people.
I have been to all of these shows over the last year, and by far this is my favorite.
I want to emphasize the importance of what you're doing as lay apostles in the CNN.
The Catholic Marketing Network has a service that the marketplace needs and the church needs.
There's the distribution of a lot of Catholic religious items, but most of the people you talk to, they say, we really come for the networking.
It's a great joy to be here. In fact, it was almost 10 years ago that I came to the Catholic Marketing Network for the first time. There was a friend and I putting out sacred music. St. Ignatius Press picked it up and they showcased us, and before you know it, we had sold 20,000 copies to people like you. And that sprungboard a company that now has reach in about 8 different countries.
I found really good and very interesting because I like when people come from everywhere and we can learn a lot. We come to show something, but they show us too. So that's an amazing.
This is always one of my favorite events.
I always love coming here and being here because it's such a synergy to be around like-minded people with the same ideals, the same love for the church. So it's beautiful.
Welcome to the Sowing Hope podcast. This is a show all about implanting hope in our hearts. I'm Bill Snyder, joined by my friend Ann DeSantis. We're glad you're here for our uplifting conversation about faith and how it sustains our hearts through all the seasons of life. Thanks for walking with us. And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sowing Hope podcast. I am Bill Snyder. It's great to be with you here this evening, and it's just another one of those warm weeks out here in Wisconsin. Thank God. We know how cold it gets in the wintertime out here, but as always, I'm joined by my friend from the sunny Philadelphia area. How are you, Ann?
Oh, I'm doing great, Bill. Yeah,
Good.
It's still that month of June. It's my favorite time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. And this evening for everybody, we have one of our ministry update episodes. So that's super fun. I always love being able to talk about the many things that our ministries are doing. And there's plenty going on right now. I know how busy I am, and I know how busy you are, and so I think we'll be able to cover a lot in this episode.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot going on between Patchwork Heart Ministry, Fiat Ministry Network, and the St. Raymond Donatus Foundation, and especially the Catholic Marketing Network Conference is coming up next month, Bill. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, a lot of work there. Focusing in on it's actually a month away now. It's hard to believe I'm saying that, but it's a month away. And folks, the amazing people at Catholic Marketing Network, and if you haven't had a chance to learn about it, I encourage you to head over to our podcast feed, because I just did an episode with the coordinator of the event, Kathy Gilmore, on Young Catholics Respond, the other show here on Patchwork Heart Ministry, or one of the other shows on Patchwork Heart Ministry. So I encourage you to head over to our podcast feed and listen to the episode with Kathy Gilmore, because she's the event coordinator. She explains everything about the event and how incredible it is. But we're super excited because both Ann and I are going to be at this event. You and I, Ann, are going to be there in booth number 342. And the event takes place from July 27th to 29th. It's at the Renaissance Hotel and Convention Center in Schaumburg, Illinois, which is a suburb of the Chicago area. It really, if you're on the West Coast, if you're on the East Coast, if you're in the center of the country in the Midwest, this is a phenomenal trade show to come to. But it's not just a trade show. There are tracks, educational tracks for catechists. There are all kinds of incredible incredible presentations. There's impact breakfasts with speakers like Father Don Calloway. You're going to encounter some incredible, incredible people, and really the focus of the conference is certainly to uplift everybody in their faith, but it's also to help sustain mission. As Kathy was talking on our podcast about things last week, she was saying that, what separates the Catholic Marketing Network from the other, major conferences is the fact that they focus not just on uplifting you in faith and going home and being like, oh yeah, I'm really empowered, I'm really excited about my faith, but it's about sustaining the mission and, of course, helping these different ministries financially and spiritually continue their mission in the Catholic sphere of influence out there. And it's just I know I've been to it before, and I know you've been to it before. It's an amazing event, and one that I look forward to each and every year. I know that, last year with the pandemic, it was fully virtual, so that was a little different. But now we're back in person, and we couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and I haven't been to Chicago in a few years, so it'll be great to visit again. Wonderful to spend time with you, Bill, there, and also meet some great people. And as Bill said, it's just going to be a phenomenal Catholic conference. So if you're anywhere near that area, and if this is your thing, please do sign up and go. Bill, do you know the website, or where can they sign up to get tickets to attend?
Yeah, so it's very, very simple. CatholicMarketing.com. It's that simple. You head over there. Register for the attendee. You can choose all the different tracks. You can get your extra lunches and your extra breakfasts and stuff like that if you want to. But really, this is much more, much more laid back. Certainly there's talks, certainly there's stuff, but the reality is the trade show floor, which is where we'll have our booth on the trade show floor. That really is just an opportunity to network with different ministries out there. It's an opportunity to meet different people, catechists, and I should mention that we at Patchwork Heart Ministry are doing a special on our booklets. So the booklets that we have for the Contemplative Stations of the Cross, and also our Contemplative Las Posadas devotional, our Advent devotional, are going to be discounted. So if you stop by our booth, we only can get the discount at the trade show. But if you stop by our booth and you want to purchase, a large quantity for your parish, if you want to look purchasing those for, Stations of the Cross or for Advent, we are discounting them a certain percentage off at the trade show. So please stop by our booth. Again, it's 342. If you're listening to this, we hope that you'll consider coming if you're within driving distance. But even if you're not, Chicago, I think it's like 35 minutes from O'Hare Airport. So you're not very far, from a quick plane freight and rideshare ride. But yeah, I think that there's just a lot of, they use the title Momentum. That's, kind of how they retitled this versus trade show, because they have some other arms of it and educational things. Catholic Writers Guild is going to be there. There's just so much going on. And I'm so excited. Oh, by the way, there's also all the spiritual components you look for at a Catholic conference. Mass every day, and confessions are available. Eucharistic adoration throughout the afternoon on all the different days. So you're going to be able to really encounter Christ, but also build up your ministry. And no matter whether you're a pastor, no matter whether you are doesn't matter what you are, DRE, DYM, Catholic author, Catholic artist, whoever you are, you have got a spot and a place at this conference, and know that the Lord's going to work mightily through it. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the fact that we're launching our book at CMN. Yes. Just got a text earlier from Matt, our publisher, today, and touched base with him yesterday. The book very likely should be available in hard copy at the trade show. Hearts Burning Within Us. We'll run the trailer after the show if you want to stick around and watch the trailer for the book. But yeah, I'm super excited about about that too, just launching that and all the hard work that went into that, and thankful to the kids, thankful to you for making it happen. And
yeah. I mean, it's an amazing venture that we did last summer. We came together every week with college ministers, Bill, myself, and a group of college students, attempting to answer the questions that they have about their faith. And what the finished product is the book. It's called Hearts Burning Within Us. And so it's very exciting that at this Catholic Marketing Network conference that the book will be available. So Bill, congratulations to you and to Patchwork Heart Ministry. And also thank you for thanking me, because it was my honor to be involved in this project.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was such a blessed project. It was one of those Holy Spirit-led projects. And to see it all come together in a book and be able to, give that to people at this upcoming trade show is just going to be a huge uplifting moment, I know, for our ministry, but I think for a lot of people out there that are hungering for this. People have, especially young people, have so many questions, and the world, keeps changing. There's that quote by Saint Bruno, right? That kind of is famous for what he said about the world. He said, while the world changes, the cross stands firm, and I just love that quote, and I really see that. I think I saw that during this process of writing this book and working with all the different authors and working with these students in making this book, in authoring this book, because when we are looking at the world, I mean, there were new questions every week. What about this? What about that? Oh my gosh, this just happened. This just happened. And even after, the production part of it, of actually doing the questions with the students was over, there were still things that needed to be updated and changed and reflected on, just because of how fast our culture is moving. And so that quote from St. Bruno, while the world changes, the cross stands firm, is such a huge reminder to us that these things are needed. These tools are needed. These radio shows are needed. We are needed out there by a huge audience of people, because the media, the world, just keeps throwing stuff at you, and it's all different every day. How do we keep up with it? Well, I don't think we're called to necessarily keep up with it. I think we're called to be faithful and remember that while the world changes, the cross stands firm. And so, to point out that firm rock of the cross of Christ is just a really important thing. I think that's what I see in this book, and how you and I, came together with these students. And of course, I want to give a good shout out to Jen and to Maggie too, because they did such an amazing work writing this with us. We couldn't have done it without their expertise and without their input. It was just wonderful.
Yes, as you said, it's a great experience, and I'm very honored to be a part of it. And we also had a couple priests that helped to kind of look through the book, so we thank them. It's a couple Mercedarian friars that helped to, go through and sort of help us edit a little bit there too. Now, I want to mention that there's something available that Bill will talk to you more about, because we're expecting this book is really going to sell like crazy, and there's going to be bulk discounts available for the book. So, Bill, can you talk more about that?
Oh, yeah. Actually, folks, it's available for pre-order right now on our website, patchworkheart.org, if you go over there. And the bulk pricing is already built into the website. So I can pull it up here and give you the pricing, but I will give it to you right here in just a second. But the reality is that you can get the pricing. It's built into the website. So you get one copy for $14.99, but then if you want to buy five between 5 and 9 items, it's $12.99. 10 items to 49 items of the book is is $9.99, and then 50 and above is only $7.99. So if you've got a small group in your parish, that wants to get this, you got a group of college students, you have a group of whoever, take a look at that. And if you've got a larger parish, and you got want to purchase more than 50. I mean, if somebody wanted to reach out and said I want 1,000 books, we could probably even get you a better price than $7.99. But we just figure that most people out there might want to buy a handful for their graduates, people in their life that are graduating high school and are off to college in the fall. It's that time of grads versus grads kind of thing. Graduations and giving this to a lot of ingoing college freshmen, right? Those high school seniors that just graduated this month. If you want to get them for those people in your life, godchildren, whoever that are ready to go off into college. The thing I think about this too, Ann, is that this book is written in contemporary language. These are real questions. These are not, this is not another catechism. We're not throwing a catechism at you. We're not throwing a Bible at you. There's some examples and real world stories, and of course the truth of the Catholic Church. There's, as Ann pointed out, we had some great Catholic priests who are very knowledgeable in this area, take a look at things and make sure that we were orthodox in our presentation of these questions. But at the same time, these are written in a way that college students and, incoming college freshmen can understand and say, okay, I get it. Even if I'm not 100% in agreement with all of this stuff, I do get it, and I understand. And if I live it, I think that's the other thing. Practically living this stuff, we made it in a way that you can live what we are writing about, and quite frankly, I wish I had the book when I was in college. I think that's kind of part of it for me too, was that I was looking at this and like, man, I wish I had this resource when I first went off to college, because I could read this and go, I can do this, on a practical level. Doesn't mean everyone's going to be walking out, Catholic priests or nuns out of reading this book, or, out of college, like, oh my gosh, no, that's not what this is about. I mean, maybe a few will, but the reality is that we just tried to make this graspable and readable, and then also livable. Because if you can't live this, live the responses, then why would you read the book? Why would you get these questions answered if you can't live the responses?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes. It's an exciting thing. And so I want to make a shout out that if you're listening and, if you do want to get a copy of this book, as Bill said, all the discounts that are available for different amounts, to go to patchworkheart.org and learn more. So Bill, tell us more. Is there anything else that you think they should know about regarding the book?
I don't necessarily think so. I think as long as you head over to our website, patchworkheart.org, you'll find out more information. You can help us to spread the word about the book. I think that's another big thing. Like, if you have got a copy of it, if you've pre-ordered it, I believe there's a little there's a button right on our web store that says share, tweet, or pin it to Pinterest. If you would, if after you buy a copy of the book and, get it, share it with a friend. I mean, this is how we grow our ministry too, as well. I mean, this does go to support Patchwork Heart Ministry. And we want to, support our college students, but know that our ministry also needs, support. And this is just one of those ways that we can do that. And that you can help us do that. So by sharing it and tweeting it out, I think that's another really big piece of it. We have Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. So just please tag us, share it, tell us you read it, tell us your favorite question from the book, and why somebody else should read it. Because that can really go a long way. It'll eventually be available on all the online platforms, Amazon and the Nook and the Book and the Kindle and all of those things. that you in all those places you can get it online. But we always say go to our website, get a hard copy of the book. That's the best way to support us because we don't have as much overhead with all like Amazon's fees and all of that if you buy it directly from us. And you'll also save a little bit of money there too for yourself because you end up paying the Amazon fees. You end up paying all those other people, and you'll end up saving instead of it being $15, it'll be $20 on Amazon. So save yourself a little bit of money and head over to our website and get it early. Once the books come in here in late July, right after the trade show, people who pre-order it will get their copy of the book. Or if you want to come and meet us at the Catholic Marketing Network and say, hey, I pre-ordered the book, you don't have to ship it to me. That's even fine too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that, Bill, your idea to do this book was a really good one because years ago, I know that there was a book called Did Adam and Eve Have Belly Buttons? And it was by Matt Pinto with Ascension Press. And it was a very popular book. I think it came out probably about 20 years ago now. Yeah. And this book, not that it's the same thing, but a lot has happened between that time and this time in terms of the things that young people are grappling with and dealing with. So, yeah, in that respect, I think that this would be the perfect gift for someone entering into college, someone who's just graduated from high school, and a young person, really. Mm-hmm. I mean, especially those who are around that young adult age. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, again, as we said, the world is so confusing. It just keeps throwing more and more and more at young people every day. And, I as you mentioned, Matt Pinto's book, which actually was one of the books. I actually heard Matt speak when I was in high school. And I purchased a copy of his book after one of his speaking engagements because I grew up in the Philadelphia area. He's from the Philadelphia area as well. Funny little note that my dad ended up dating his sister for a period of time, so it's just really funny. But I loved Matt's book, and it had a transformational part in my early spirituality, like when I was in 9th and 10th grade of high school. And so I know that those type of books that, you can just pop open and say, what does a church teach on underage drinking? What does a church teach on marijuana usage? What does a church teach on, same-sex attraction? What does a church teach on these different topics, right? And I can flip it open. I can read an answer within 5 minutes. I understand it. It's graspable, and I can move on. And I think that's so much needed in the world today. It was needed in my spirituality, in my life, with Matt's book. And I encourage everybody to read Matt's book because it's wonderful. He has 2 out, I believe. Did Adam and Eve Have Belly Buttons? And Did Jesus Have a Last Name? I think are the 2 question and answer books that Matt wrote kind of at the beginning of his ministry many years ago. And boy, Ascension has just grown from there by leaps and bounds. But and there's nothing wrong with Matt's books. They're incredible and they're wonderful. I just saw that here in this time, as you kind of mentioned, Dan, because the world's moving so fast, young people need to have more resources. I just saw that we could fill that need. We could have a question and answer book that has good, solid Catholic teaching, but also livable answers that you can just plug right into. And so I encourage everybody, again, follow us, on social media. If you already pre-ordered the book, thank you. I know that there have been several people who have already pre-ordered the book. And as soon as we have the copies again, they'll be out in the mail to you from us. And we really do appreciate all of the support we've had in the production of this book. I mean, we could not have done it without serious donors and serious people who have pre-ordered the book. So, there are publishing costs, there are printing costs. There's all kinds of things that go into just making a book happen. So, I want to sincerely thank everybody that has supported us in Patchwork Heart Ministry, because without you, this type of outreach doesn't happen. And I know that this is going to change more hearts and lives.
Amen. Amen, Bill. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, I wonder, Bill, if you could tell us what else is going on with Patchwork Heart this summer. Is there anything else that you want to share? Anything? I mean, I know obviously we have Sowing Hope that's going strong every week, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then we have Young Catholics Respond. Is there anything else that you want to share with us?
Sure. I mean, I'll just mention that I encourage you. My good friend Ray Haywood, he's a friend of our program too, and I did a awesome presentation for college students. Actually, we did a video presentation. I was Zoom and he was in person for the Catholic campus ministry in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it was a wonderful presentation. And we had about, I think, like 15, 20 students that we presented to at a local parish out there. And we recorded it, and it's on YouTube. It's called Thy Kingdom Come. And it addresses a lot of these issues that are not only in the book, but also some of the diving deeper into our Catholic faith and the truths of our Catholic faith. So Ray and I did this presentation. It's available for free to watch it on our YouTube channel. Again, it's called Thy Kingdom Come. You can see the playlist if you go over to our YouTube channel. But with that being said, we are looking at the possibility of not only bringing the book, but also presentations like this to different Catholic colleges and groups and parishes and whatnot. So if you are interested, especially I think more closer to the fall, not necessarily to the summer, because colleges aren't in session. Young people are off at the beach where they should be, hanging out and doing or on ministry trips, right? A lot of people do ministry trips, and a lot of people do mission work over the summer. A lot of young people do that, and so they're not home right now. They're not in college. But as we gear toward the fall, take a look at that. And I'm going to have more information up soon on our website and things about how you can contact us and do that. We know we were able to do things virtually. I think that's one of the blessings of the pandemic, is that, we've had so much virtual training now that it's so easy for us to be able to sit home and do this virtually. But at the same time, we are all craving that in-person stuff. I know that I am. Like, I can't wait to get the Catholic Marketing Network this summer and shake some hands and actually meet people in person. And so that's exciting. But if you want to have us at your parish or with an event like that, know that we can bring it to you, both the book and a little bit of a presentation. And Ray also has a wonderful book out called Tools to Ready the Journey: A Father's Guide to a Faith-Filled Family. I encourage you to all take a look at a copy of his book as well, especially for young men, and really how to hand on the faith. And that's what it's all about. It's about instilling the faith in the next generation. As fathers, as men, taking the lead role and doing that is so important. And so we kind of bring these two initiatives together in that presentation called Thy Kingdom Come. It was a 2-part presentation. So check it out on our YouTube. And if you'd like to have us at the parishes, feel free to reach out to us, and we will be happy to do it.
Yeah, that's incredible. Thank you for bringing up Ray. I think he's also a friend of mine as well, and I'm familiar with the great work that he's doing, and especially through the intercession of St. Joseph. It's still the year of St. Joseph. We can't forget, right? And even though his feast day, the big feast day, was back in March, but we still think about him and concentrate on the fact that his intersection with families is just a really powerful thing. And so I know there'll be a lot of that brought up at the conference that we'll be at too with, you mentioned Father Donald Calloway, and of course he wrote the book too about the consecration to St. Joseph. So it's all good, and I thank Ray and I thank you for your great work. Everything that you're mentioning is all very exciting things that are going to be brought up at the Catholic Marketing Network conference. Now, you mentioned also that, and I did too at the beginning, that not only will the table be Patchwork Heart Ministry, Fiat Ministry Network, and also the foundation I represent, the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation, will also be there. And I wondered if there was anything else that you wanted to share on those notes, because your spiritual director will be also accompanying us at the table.
Yeah, I'm super excited about his ministry, and honestly, yours and Kent's ministry with the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation and Fiat Ministry Network being at the table with us. I mean, first of all, we all collaborated on all of this stuff over the pandemic, and I am just super excited that we all get to meet in person for an extended period of time. I know, Anne, we met very briefly at the beach a couple of years ago. But, you know, it was like an hour, like maybe a half hour cup of coffee and at the Jersey Shore, which was wonderful. But, you know, we all need to come together. And so I'm so excited that we're going to be able to do that. Praying Kent's schedule allows him to join us in person. But nonetheless, all three of us will be represented there, and our spiritual director at Patchwork Heart Ministry, also my spiritual director, Father Bill Zimmer, is a priest in the Archdiocese of Chicago, and he is just a incredibly faith-filled, spiritually filled man. And he has a ministry called Sowing the Seeds of the Kingdom of God ministry, where he goes in and takes a look at the different spiritual resources that are available out there. And he tries to give them away at cost. That is his goal, to give away these resources at cost or below cost. So he has everything from blessed candles to different literature, books. Oftentimes he'll use some of the resources at Patchwork Heart Ministry that we'll have available there, but also just some of the different spiritual resources, rosaries, whatever. He has things that he's able to give away at cost or below his cost for you. So check out that. He has another directee that is involved in veil ministry, so has the veils for women, and she's going to be there at our table as well, selling her veil ministry, doing her veil ministry and giving women some beautiful veils to wear during the liturgy at Mass or during Eucharistic adoration. So that's a wonderful blessing to have him with us, and as typical Father Bill style, he asked, we may not see too much of him because he'll probably be in the confessional. Knowing him, he asked me, what time, how much time can I spend in the confessional? How much time can I spend hearing people's confessions, which is exactly what priests should be doing. And so I just commend him for recognizing that and knowing that. He's such a humble soul, and a great director for Patchwork Heart Ministry, great director for me, and I just encourage, of course, come out and experience the ministry, and I'm sure Father Bill will spend some time out of the confessional. He does have to eat lunch, so but I'm excited to have him with us, and I'm excited to have all of us together. I know, it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a wonderful show, and I know, Anne, You definitely should talk a little bit about during this episode too, what's going on with St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation, and also the upcoming pilgrimage too, right? You got the pilgrimage going, and so that's an important thing.
Yeah, thank you. I would love to talk about both. The first thing I'll talk about then is the foundation. What's going on there, and a lot of you already know who we are, but we're the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation for Freedom, Family, and Faith. We're at nonatus.org, founded by the Mercedarian Friars in 2015, headquartered in Philadelphia, which is where I am. And quite simply, our tagline is pastoral accompaniment for families in crisis. And when you think of crisis, there's all kinds of things that come to mind. There's divorce, separation, addictions, family sickness, issues having to do with pro-life. So that's exactly what we're about. And what we do is we offer 4 things. And in terms of, now we call them the 4 Ps, and they would be prayer, podcast videos, programs and events, and also the pastoral accompaniment, the priestly pastoral accompaniment sessions that you can schedule. we're a nonprofit organization, a 501c3. So everything that we do basically is free. So the way that we continue to exist is from your donations. And so anything, if you're listening to this podcast and you're thinking you'd like to help an organization that helps those families, please do check us out on nonatas.org. And most of all, just let your friends know about the resources that we offer. And as I said, since we're from a religious order, those Mercedarian friars, the fourth charism of their vows are the willingness to give their lives for those in danger of losing their faith. So everything that we do has to do with giving ourselves so that we can help those families and people who are going through rough times. So I thank you, Bill, for bringing that up. And yes, we also have a pilgrimage coming up in March of 2022, and that's with myself and Father Matthew Phelan in around Lent. It's March 14th to the 24th in 2022 to the Holy Land. It's through Select International Tours. And all you need to do is to simply just go to nonatas.org, and we have a drop down there for the Holy Land pilgrimage. And so we do appreciate that, Bill. Thank you for bringing it up. And then the only other last thing I want to mention is that when you see me at the booth, if you do wind up going to Catholic Marketing Network, is that I'll have some information there about the foundation, everything that we do, of course, the pilgrimage. And I also wrote my own book, which we've had a show about before, Love and Care for the Marginalized. It's through the same exact publisher that Bill has published the book. It's called, as I said, Love and Care for the Marginalized. And it's 40 meditations for Catholics, including a quote, a prayer, a call to action, and a reflection. So all you need to do is go to my website at andasantos.com or charispublishing.com to purchase the book. And I also have discounts available too. Mm-hmm. So thank you.
Yeah, no, it's great, and I'm excited for your book. And I know if people are looking for a full in-depth episode about your book, we did record a Young Catholics Respond episode a couple of weeks ago, and so you can head over again to our website, patchworkheart.org, and hit up on our radio tab, and you'll be able to hear that interview with Ann and myself talking about that book. I'm super excited for the many things that we all have going on. It seems like we're going to be kind of getting ourselves batteries recharged, I think, is kind of the way I'm looking at it, Ann. Batteries recharged for the fall. I see this fall and this, coming liturgical season, Advent, Lent, being some really exciting times for the church and being some really exciting times for our ministries. And I'm very excited about making new projects happen. And so I would say to anybody looking, the other thing I will just say too is that, the three of our ministries, Patchwork Heart Ministry, St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation, and Fiat Ministry Network, are all incredibly open to a word that is not often heard in Catholic ministry, and that is collaboration. So we enjoy working with people. We enjoy collaborating, and it's not about one group or one person or one organization getting all the press or the accolades or anything like that. That's not who we are as people, and it's not who we are as our organizations. And so we are about serving the people of God. I think that's the best way that we can, sum it up. Our tagline at Patchwork Heart Ministry is sowing hope into broken hearts. We all are out there to serve the body of Christ and to build the body of Christ up into build them up, heal it, and bring it together. So I truly believe that if you're at the Catholic Marketing Network, please come up to us, even if you don't want to buy a book, even if you don't want to, this is not about us. If you don't want to buy a book, you don't want to go on a pilgrimage, you don't want to work with don't want to do anything, just want to meet us, just want to say, hey, what about this? Maybe you want to be a guest on one of our podcasts. Come up to us and just introduce yourself. Say hello. We're very approachable people. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, totally, Bill. And I'm so grateful to you because it was at the very beginning of the pandemic that I actually used to have a show on a New Jersey online network called RVN TV. It was called The Positive Side. And the show was, it wasn't specifically a religious or Catholic show. Although I did interview a lot of people that were, Catholic authors and nonprofits. And Bill, you were even supposed to be a guest. I don't know if you remember that, but Bill was going to be a guest on the show. And what happened was the pandemic came along and it got difficult for me to travel from the Philadelphia area over into New Jersey because of all the restrictions. So, that relationship ended, and I'm grateful to the people there, the producers, that I was able to, I think I had it had to be over 100 episodes of the show. And I took those skills, and Bill and I came together, and Bill, we collaborated. We came up with the idea of, let's do the Sowing Hope podcast, which we could do on Zoom. And then Bill, of course, sent it out to all the podcasting networks like Podbean and Apple Podcasts and the others, and on his own YouTube channel at Patchwork Heart Ministry. And then I was introduced to Kent Kolhosky with Fiat Ministry Network and came up with the idea of let's do an online show, kind of replacing what I did before, Journeys in Faith. And we have 60 episodes now of Journeys in Faith. It's an online TV show that you can actually find right on Patchwork Heart Ministry on the channel there. Yeah. And we're going to be coming back in the fall. We are taking a break, but we're coming back with some all new shows in the fall. And the new format's going to be, it is going to be a shorter program. Instead of 1 hour, it's going to be 30 minutes. So I make a shout out to those listening that want to be a guest on Journeys in Faith, because we'll be back. Yeah. and I think our new format will be great too. Is there anything else from Fiat Ministry Network that you wanted to share?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, Ann. But I know that Kent and Jennifer always have great things going on. I encourage you to, as you do, follow our YouTube channel. Go over to Fiat Ministry Network and follow their YouTube channel. They have incredible shows. They have masses, daily masses. They've got wonderful things going on over there as well. So I do encourage you to all check it out. Go to the Fiat Ministry Network YouTube page, subscribe, and know that this year is looking bright. It's looking beautiful for us to continue doing great ministry, and so I'm so blessed to be working with you and Fiat Ministry Network and Kent and Jennifer. This has been a wonderful year, despite the many challenges that we've had, and I'm looking forward to this next, the finishing off this year and this next year, because it's going to be just wonderful.
Yeah, it really is, Bill. Thank you. I do want to mention on Fiat Ministry Network, our friend Alan Smith has a show. Oh, yeah. And also there's the Fiat show, too. So please do check it out, like it, subscribe, connect with Fiat Ministry Network. And the other thing is that I was speaking with the producer, is that keep an eye, because there might be short snippet shows that we'll be doing, interview shows. We haven't decided on a name yet, that they will most likely be, 15-minute interview shows with different guests. And I was speaking with Kent about that. It will probably be happening more toward the end of the summer. So there's going to be some great things happening there. And I also want to invite people listening that, Bill and I have interviewed so many people over this last year. I mean, we've been doing Sowing Hope twice a week for over a year now. And we even did some great, programs of our own, like we did the Beatitude series, and we did the 4 Marks of the Church, and we did the 2 Great Commandments. So if you haven't heard those programs yet that Bill and I did, they're really worth listening to and sharing. And I honestly think they would even be wonderful to share with your own church communities, pastors and things like that, because we covered it very well, those topics. And all you need to do is go to the YouTube channel of Patchwork Heart Ministry and check it out.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I encourage you all, folks, delve into our ministry. We really enjoy people coming together and learning more about Christ, sowing that hope into broken hearts. That's what our ministry is all about. And so thank you, Ann. I can't wait for July to come rolling around. And I know real quickly before we end here today, we got an awesome guest coming up on Thursday, William Hemsworth. So please tune in then too, because William Hemsworth is just an amazing guy. He's an amazing author, apologist. He has a series on our Patreon. There's a plug for our Patreon, but he has a series on the Eucharist. So check that out. We are just so very blessed to know him, and to have him as a guest on Sowing Hope for the first time is going to be just wonderful. I'm looking forward to that on Thursday.
Yes, I really am. So do keep an eye on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern on the Sowing Hope podcast. Bill, thank you so much for everything. And I'm also looking forward to seeing you in July and also being there at the conference. It's going to be wonderful. And thank you for inviting me and the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation to be a part of it, because, the foundation and our board of directors and all the people who are involved in the foundation, we are blessed that you've invited us to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Well, folks, until next time, from all of us here at Patchwork Heart Ministry, the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation, and Fiat Ministry Network, I am Bill Snyder. Keep beating to your Catholic heart and sowing hope into broken hearts. Thanks for listening to this episode of Sowing Hope on Patchwork Heart Radio. For more information about this podcast and our ministries, visit our websites, patchworkheart.org and andesantis.com. You can also follow and interact with us on Twitter at PWH Ministry or Ann DeSantis 2.